So back in the beginning of this project, when I decided to try to get this thing running, back when it was a rusted wreck, I got it running, but I took some shortcuts along the way. I wouldn't say that I did it right. I rebuilt the injection pump on my tailgate to get it ungummed, basically stripped it down, cleaned everything, got everything working, and put it back together. And the same for the injectors. And ever since I got it running, it has been running. It starts great, it runs okay, but I wouldn't say it runs great. I definitely wouldn't say it runs perfect. And I would like to look into that a little bit today and figure out if we can make this thing run a little bit better. Maybe not perfect, but I would like to get it running as well as I can without pouring buckets of money into it.
So I don't know if you can hear it on camera, but I can. No one has commented on it on the videos yet, but this thing runs with a lope, and it shakes a lot more than it should. If you look at the vibrations, it does not run smoothly. Also, there's a, you can hear it more clearly in the exhaust maybe, there's a pulse. I feel like perhaps some of the injectors aren't firing right. And if you remember back to when I first got this engine running, I did a very quick clean on the injectors. Not a full rebuild or anything, but I cleaned them, and some of the tips were bad. I think I only replaced a couple of the tips, which it shouldn't do, but I was trying to get it running. Either the injectors are unbalanced severely, or some of them aren't firing. And I'm pretty sure it's not the pump, because the pump is delivering the fuel properly. I've checked that. So that's what leads me to believe that the injectors aren't quite right. I feel like I need to pull them out and look at them again. So as a test, I just went through and I started loosening some injectors kind of at random to see what it did to the engine. Number 5 did absolutely nothing. I was getting fuel out, but loosening the injector changes nothing about the engine. I can't really test number 6 because it's hard up against this bracket. I gotta pull that bracket again. And then I can check the injector. None of them are, I mean, you can see they're getting fuel where I loosened them. Number 1 and number 2, I just barely cracked them, and it stalled the engine. And just the fact that it stalls with one injector loosened leads me to believe that it may be firing on just 3 or 4. I'm leaning towards 4 because I shot the temperatures, which I'll show you here. So you can see from the temperature data that 5 and 6 are running cooler. Now that was right after startup, so you know, judge that as you will, but they should be relatively even a minute or 2 after startup, I would think. You know, and running 10 degrees different is a little significant. At least it seems that way to me. I don't know, I'm gonna have to do something about these injectors again, I think. I'll have to pull them off, basically, and take a look. Okay, as a demo here, I'm going to play with number 5 and number 6 by loosening the lines. Listen to the engine. Guess number 6 is firing. Okay, so number 6 is firing. Number 5 is getting good fuel, but disconnecting it does nothing. more. Yeah, so number 3 and number 5 are not firing. I tested 1 and 2. So it's number 3 and number 5 we got to look at. Injectors. I don't remember what the firing order of this is, but they're probably side by side or something. I'll have to look it up. Anyway, that is why we're getting that lope and why it vibrates so much. I don't know if 3 and 5 are close to each other in the firing order. I'll have to look that up. It doesn't particularly matter because it's running, like, I can hear it. I don't know if you can hear it on camera, but it doesn't sound happy. We are getting fuel on 3 and 5 from the pump, so I would suspect the injector is at fault. So we'll start by, I guess, pulling those injectors and taking a look at them. I think the pop-off pressure is just a hair over 2100 psi, and I don't know, I have the specs somewhere. I can check it with my injector tester, but I can't afford new injectors. I'm trying to remember which ones I put the newer nozzles on, and I don't remember. It might have been 3 and 5, I'm not sure, but anyway, let's pull those injectors and see what we got, basically. Yeah, so 3, it's drying now, but it was wet when I pulled it out. Some carbon buildup, but I would expect that. This one is not wet at all. It was dry as a bone when I pulled it out. I see a telltale from possibly a fuel injection on it. You probably can't see it on camera, but I can see it. Kind of a line there, but it could very well be clogged already. I did put additives in this fuel. I'm marking these which cylinder they came from. So I did put additives. I put hot shots, and I think I put some ATF, and you know, it adds lubrication and stuff because I want to protect this, and modern diesel fuels don't have as much lubricants. Let's get the fuel injector tester out and see if I can scrounge up some diesel fuel, and let's see what's happening with these, basically. Okay, I'm going to try to position you guys where you can see both the gauge and this, and I'll try not to move it. I think I feel it start to pump. Okay, now we're getting pressure. It takes a while to pump it up. All right. Goodness. Yeah, we went up to 2500 and it did not pop off. There is something going on there. Oh, goodness. Yeah, okay. Well, let's test the other one before we strip this down. Oh. Yeah, see, it definitely has pressure in there. Oh. Definitely pressure. Okay, let's try the other one. Okay, try that again. Can you still see the screen? I think so. Starting to get pressure. Same deal there. We're going up to 2500 and it's nothing. Maybe we're getting the tiniest bit of a dribble there. That's it, just a dribble. So these are not adjusted properly. I can't remember. I have to go back to the video where I did this. How did I adjust the pressure? Did I do it on a rig like this? I can't remember. So anyway, right now, so I've loosened this. This controls the spring pressure that the injector pops off at. So right now it's injecting at, you know, like 1800. We'll give it another tweak. Doesn't take much. Just a back. That's just a hair too much there. That's a hair under. I think it's 2138. I got to double check that spec. Yeah, that's about there. It's about right there. I've been looking at the pattern. I'm sure you have on camera. Yeah, the pattern's good. 4 sprays. Okay. I'll double check that number, but I think that one's right, and we'll check the other one. I did check the nozzle, and everything's good inside. This is one of the new nozzles, so this is one of the ones I didn't recalibrate correctly, so this is my fault here. Guess I'll have to check them all now, I suppose. So I went back and checked, and I don't think I showed it. I don't think I showed how I adjusted these in the footage when I shot the footage for the initial engine start on this truck. And look, I'm just gonna admit it, I'm an idiot. The way I did this was, when I took them apart, I just kind of marked where the screw was roughly, and then I reset it. Problem is, I replaced 2 of the nozzles and I reset them to the same position they were with the old nozzles. Well, I never recalibrated for the new nozzles, so I kind of winged it. To be honest, the way I did it, you shouldn't do it that way ever in any circumstance, and that engine never should have run. I can't believe it's been running on 4 cylinders all this time. I think I'm gonna have to pull all 4 of these and recalibrate them, or check their calibration. But 2,133 pounds, this should be the pop-off pressure. Let me verify here. Try to hold it still. Yeah, the closest I can see is 2,100 on my hardly inaccurate thing here, so we're gonna go with that. So if you're not aware, there's a plunger system in here, and pressure on the fuel goes down and pushes the plunger up to let fuel out. There's a spring up here, and this screws in or out to control the spring pressure. And so when you screw it out, it lessens the pressure. Screw it in, it increases the pressure that the fuel pushes against. It's a very simple system, but that's the way it works. Well, it is a mechanical gauge, so it's probably accurate. I don't know. We'll call that good for now. Go on, get off of there. Okay. This is number 5, so we'll put this back in. So this is number 3. Let's calibrate this one. I'm gonna back it off a bit so I can get it to pop off. Nope. Need some more. Get off some more. Not too much. Doesn't take much. A few degrees makes a big difference on one of these. Nope. Too low. Still too low. Hair too low. Yeah, there we go. How's the pattern on that? Yeah, pattern's good. Okay. All right, let's put this one back on the truck now. All right, here's number 6. Haven't touched anything about it yet. Oh man, it's popping off way too low. Okay. I think I see why this is running so badly. All right. I'm gonna run through and adjust all these injectors, and then we'll fire it up and see. All right. I've been bleeding a little bit, and now I'm gonna bleed a little bit more. Oh yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say it's completely without vibration, but it is reduced. It's also firing much more evenly. There's not an uneven pulse to it. That's all look good. Also, the cold idle is a lot better. I was having a lot of trouble with the cold idle before. I'd have to sit there and nurse it for like 2 or 3 minutes before it would hold an idle cold. And now it's running great. I would not say it's running perfect. It's running very, very well though. I think to be perfect, I would have to have a brand new, highly calibrated pump and brand new, highly calibrated injectors. All of this stuff is just calibrated, you know, by me the best I can with the equipment I have. So, yeah. As you can see, there's a little bit of vibration. But you can just see even on the hood isn't just shaking all over the place. Much, much better. I like this. I like this a lot. Yeah, I mean, it's holding an idle right out of the gate. We're still only at 109 degrees Fahrenheit, and it is holding an idle fantastic. Right up to where it's tuned at, which I think I had the idle set high just because you know, it didn't like to run at a low idle. I could probably lower it down now. Maybe I will. If I can remember how to set it. I think there's a screw down there. I don't know. I'll look into it. Right. She needs a bath, but she is looking good. Now we're idling at about 750. Hopefully you can see that. I can't see the cameras though. Anyway, it's just happy purring along here at a lower idle than it was before because it's probably actually running on all its cylinders. So I will take that. And of course it was running at about 900, 1000 RPM before. As you can see, it barely even shakes here, even with these fabricated engine mounts the guy put in. Not terrible. I can live with that. I also readjusted the stop cable. You had to pull a little hard on it. Oh. Reach it? Yes, we can. There we go. All right. Turn off that George Thorogood there. I don't want to get dinged by YouTube. Even though I do drink alone. That's beside the point.
So we got the engine running better. Next goal in this truck, before we can actually really put it on the road, is to figure out the front suspension, the steering, and get everything straightened out. Been having some issues with it. Don't know if those videos have been out yet or if they will be out yet, but when they come out you'll see what I'm talking about. So if you want to stay tuned for that, feel free to like, subscribe, comment if you're not already. Tell me what I did wrong down below, which is in this video probably a good bit because I still should have bought brand new injectors and brand new injection pump to do it right and everything like that, but it's good enough for our purposes. So if you want to see more on this truck, feel free to tune in next time. And as always, thanks for watching.